I'm Sarah Katz. Do you want to live a more optimistic life? Well, I'm here to help. In this podcast, I'll be discussing a variety of topics, such as positivity, motivation, and self-love, to ultimately inspire you to live your best and blessed life. So, let's chat. This is... Hey, all you friends out there, all my guys and gals, and however you identify, hello! Welcome back to Skatz Chats. This is episode number 20, and I'm so excited. I've been uploading 20 episodes so far. This is actually a really cool milestone, and I'm glad that you all have been sticking with me and, again, coming along with me on this journey. So, I hope whatever you're doing right now, whether you're driving or cleaning while listening to this, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, I hope you're having a fantastic day. But if you're not having a fantastic day, that's okay too. You're already taking some time for yourself to listen to this podcast, and that is self-care right there. You're doing it. You're taking care of yourself, so I want you to just continue to listen and enjoy today's episode. And also, I wanted to let you know that we have another exciting announcement that I'm going to reveal at the end of this episode, so just stay tuned, and again, continue to listen and enjoy this whole episode, and we'll get right down to the fun, exciting announcement right at the end. So today, we're going to be chatting about creating meaningful relationships with the right people. And this can mean any type of relationship, whether that may be platonic or not, familial, friendship, mentor, teacher, boss, anything like that. Creating relationships that are meaningful and with the right people. That's the most important thing, is with the right people. Because here's the thing, I feel like a lot of us for our relationships, and of course this depends on the person, but a lot of times we lead with our heart. And I think sometimes leading with our heart too early can create some, hurt and some damage and some maybe, not fulfilled expectations and things like that. And I think we have to keep in mind that our gatekeeper is our mind. Like, our mind is the gatekeeper to our heart. I think a lot of times we really need to pay attention to all the signs if someone truly and genuinely wants to be in our life, with us for the right reasons. It kind of, whenever I say for the right reasons, I always think about The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or anything like that, because they always say, I'm here for the right reasons. But if you watch The Bachelor, then you know what I mean. But it's true that we need to be able to determine if someone is here for the right reasons or wants to be in our life, wants to be a part of our world for the right reasons. And you have the ability to let someone in and keep someone out at the same time, kind of like that gatekeeper. Especially when it comes to developing a romantic connection with someone, it's important to be logical with our decisions. And once we let that person in, that's when we can start to activate our heart and be more vulnerable with that person and things like that. So only, reveal your heart when they start to reveal theirs, because that's when you can see who they truly are. You know what I mean? My therapist told me that when you have a crush on someone, you tend to lose objectivity a little bit, meaning that you start to become almost like blind, in a sense, when you have a crush on someone. Of course, that isn't to say that having a crush on someone is bad, but I think in that sense, we tend to focus on them and how, we feel about them and how great they are and all these things, which is great, but in the sense that we aren't really aware of any negative signs or red flags they might be giving off. We just need to be aware and keep an eye out for these little hidden things, maybe when we interact with this person, that may indicate that they have different intentions than what you're looking for, or may not just be the perfect fit for you for any reason. And it doesn't have to be also, of course, just in a romantic sense. It can be also for a friendship. You know what I mean? Let me tell you this story. I was friends with this girl from elementary school, all the way from elementary school up until high school, right? And the friendship wasn't that close. This person was pretty surfacey, I guess, when I would talk to her and hang out with her. And that's fine, she didn't really want to talk about her emotions or share too much with me, which was fine. And for me, on my end, I considered this person a good friend because I like to have good friends, and, who doesn't like to have good friends? But one day during high school, I think this was like junior year or something like that, all of a sudden, like, this person just cut me off and stopped hanging out with me. And we would have a couple classes together. And one in particular, like, I would sit near her and then she just would, like, completely ignore me. And then every time I would come near her, she would just, like, walk fast away. It was pretty immature. Like, it's funny to think about now and, like, laugh about it. But at that time, I thought, like, okay, maybe there was something wrong with me. Maybe I was too, quirky or weird for her taste. You know what I mean? But ultimately, it kind of showed her true colors, in a sense. She was not there for me. She wasn't a good friend for me, and she didn't have my back. And, she didn't appreciate who I was and my personality enough to want to continue to be my friend. And, hey, maybe I was weird. Maybe I was the too weird one. But, again, that just shows the type of person that she was, and just showed that she wasn't a true friend. So again, it doesn't have to be necessarily about romantic connections, but just about considering who your real friends are at the same time too. Now, this part is for my ladies out there, because I know I've struggled with this a little bit, and I've had some experience in this arena, and it's just a common thing that happens all the time. So ladies, think about this. A guy who's going to compliment you all the time and tell you how gorgeous you are, like right up front, probably isn't there all for the right reasons, right? He's just there to sweet talk you so it can lead to something else, if you know what I mean. But on the other hand, a guy who is truly there, and wants to get to know you and shows that he wants to take the time to spend time with you and actually see who you truly are, that guy probably has better intentions than the first guy that I described. Like, real connections take a longer time to develop, which then, you can become more comfortable slowly opening up to that person and showing, again, your vulnerability. Like I said before, I've had experience with this, and I gotta tell you, my heart has been closed off because I fell for the sweet talkers. I mean, not fell in love, but I fell for the compliments. I fell for their, games and tricks. And now, looking back, I can see what their actual intentions are, which were, just to be physical and not to get to know me for me necessarily. And ultimately, I was hurt. I didn't take the time to see the whole scope of things and really pay attention to the signs that showed that they weren't 100% good for me or what exactly I was wanting. Like, our intentions didn't match up with each other. So again, we are definitely in control of our own emotions, and we are in control of our mind and our hearts, both. Again, our mind is the gatekeeper to our hearts. So if our minds let our heart go and just be free and, crush on someone and just be blind to all the signs that we might be missing of this person that may indicate that they're not there for us for the right reasons, that's kind of on us in a sense. With any type of relationship, platonic or not, I think ultimately we have to think to ourselves, do they advance my life or hinder it? Are they a good influence or a bad influence? And, we can joke and say, oh, my friend takes me out to bars and we get drunk every weekend. She's a bad influence. No, that's not entirely at all what I'm talking about. I mean, is this person a bad influence in the fact that they do things or give you advice or pressure you to do something that will ultimately make you feel bad in the end? Or is this person, someone who's very genuine and open and honest with you about how they're feeling every step of the way and gives you good advice and ultimately cares about your well-being and cares about helping you? It's important to take some time to reflect and see that there's definitely a difference between these two people. Someone who actually is there for you and has your back, and someone who maybe just wants to be friends with you because it's a benefit or a gain to them personally, and they don't want to give anything back to you that you may be reciprocating to them, whether that may be, positivity, love, whatever. That's the thing. We really have to kind of sit down and determine that. And I hope that while you're listening to this episode right now, you might be thinking, maybe there is someone out there who doesn't feel like a true friend to you, or really doesn't have your back in a sense, or maybe is just benefiting from your friendship in a different way. Kind of like, playing tricks or games or talking behind people's back and all that unnecessary drama and BS that you know what I'm talking about. We want to create meaningful relationships where the openness, the communication, the vulnerability, the love and positivity is reciprocated on both sides. Relationships are a two-way street, not a one-way street, my friends. If you feel like you're giving a lot and so much to this person, and they're not giving anything back to you, not necessarily anything per se, but just a fraction of what you're giving to them, they're giving back to you, that's something to consider. At some point in our lives, I think we really reach a certain level of maturity where, again, we start to see who our real friends are. Like who's going to be there for you when a family member passes away, or you break up with a significant other, or when you get a flat tire, or when other unfortunate circumstance happens. I want to remind you also that letting go of people who aren't in your life for the right reasons is completely okay. When you reach this level of maturity and start to, see the whole scope of the relationship you're starting to build with this person, and maybe realizing that it's not right, or it's not doing you any good, or making you happy, then it's okay to move on from that. Don't let someone stay in your life who isn't your true friend or doesn't really have your back. That right there is ultimately an act of self-care too. Letting go of people and situations who just exude and give you negative energy. And ultimately, you want to surround yourself with positive, kind, and loving people and energy only, because that will bring you more peace and decrease a lot of stress for you as well. I think there's two types of stress, maybe internal stress and external stress. And a lot of the external stress means that can come from our environment, and that maybe includes relationships as well. So I think by kind of weeding out and filtering out and really thinking about the relationships that you have right now, and letting go of the ones that aren't serving you, or you realize you have relationships with people, friendships, whatever that may be, who don't give you the same energy and positive light that you give to them, that's important to look at and to weed out and to, like I said, filter out and let go of those certain connections. And maybe you could be honest with that person too, maybe before you let them go, and just say, you know what, I feel like I'm giving you more than you're giving me right now, and I'd really just like to, talk about it, and hopefully we can work this out. Don't be that friend that I had from elementary school into high school that just cut the other person off. That's not nice either, you know what I mean? Even if you're doing it for you, I think it's still important to, again, kind of practice what you preach. Be open and honest about how you're feeling, and maybe you can work out that relationship and improve it. Or if the other person doesn't see it your way and doesn't want to help you resolve this situation that you're feeling, then maybe, again, that might show their true colors. But ultimately, it's up to you to decide how you want to navigate these certain situations. But I hope that this episode can help you maybe realize that there might be someone out there who is like this. Or maybe there is a certain relationship that doesn't quite sit right with you for some reason. And hopefully that will help you bring more peace into your life too. I found a poem that relates to this, and I'll use it for our quote of the day today. And let's see, I'm opening up the book right now. So this poem is titled Owned by You Alone, and it's on page 90 of the book Heart Talk by Cleo Wade. So Owned by You Alone. Your peace belongs to you alone. Only you can give it to yourself, and only you can take it away. So again, your peace and sanity and overall mental health in general is, or should be, the most important thing to you. And you are in control of allowing people to be in your life who bring you peace, and at the same time, letting those people go who don't bring you peace. It's important to have your mind be the gatekeeper to your heart. Just always keep that internal, radar going in the back of your mind, and just realize and keep note of how much, you give to your relationships and how much they give you back at the same time. Again, relationships are a two-way street, no matter if that's platonic, romantic, familial, anything like that. Make your peace and your sanity and your mental health a priority. and I know you will. And I hope you, at the same time, strive to be a true friend to those who you love and just be honest and truthful to everyone you know, because it's just fair, right? If we want people to communicate and be honest with us, it's only fair that we do the same thing for others in return. So again, don't be that girl that I talked about who I was friends with in high school who just cut me off. Still be honest and communicative with that person. It's only right to them too as well. But just overall, be open and honest with everyone, share how you're feeling, and ultimately, if you share that, then people will be willing to share what they feel back to you. So we have come to our announcement for today. Very exciting. So I wanted to announce Skatz Chats is on YouTube. So if you prefer to listen to podcasts on YouTube, all of our episodes are on there. Just go to YouTube and search Skatz Chats Podcast. You'll find us. We're all there. All the content is there for you. It's going to be great. So this is an easy way also for you to share our podcast with other people. Just copy the YouTube link and then boop, send it to them in a text, email, however you want to do it. I also wanted to mention that we will be doing an Ask Skatz episode coming up very shortly. And if you don't know what that is, Ask Skatz is kind of like an anonymous form or an anonymous column where you ask a question, anonymously of course, and I answer it right here on the show. And it's good to ask specific questions because you never know if someone is in the same situation, and that way I can tailor my advice, guidance, and wisdom to you, my audience, and, try to help you in any specific situation that you may be going through. So in order to send me an anonymous question, you just click the link that's in my bio on my Instagram page, and it'll take you straight to the form to submit your anonymous question. If you have any questions on how to navigate there, feel free to email us or just send us a DM on Instagram and we'll get right back to you. But in any case, that's pretty much it for the end of our show. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and now YouTube. If you just type in Skatz Chats, you could find us there. And as always, if you love this podcast, if you get anything out of this podcast, feel free to write us a review on Apple Podcasts, and also just feel free to email us with any questions, thoughts, concerns, or requests even for a future episode topic. Email us at skatschats@gmail.com or send us a message on any of those social media platforms as well. We will get back to you. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe once again, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of Skatz Chats. Bye! Thank you so much for listening to Skatz Chats. If you'd like to request a topic of discussion, head over to our website at www.skatschats.com. The Skatz Chats logo is designed by Nkartz, and our theme song is written and produced by Daddy Lacus.